Dude,
My OnlyFans link in my bio. He's an Israeli
our
guy.
most loyal listeners.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Gentleman Gains episode. I'm your co-host, Jakub. Today with me is Karan in the white hoodie and Andrew in the red shirt.
Sure.
Today's episode, we're going to be talking about injuries, and we're back with partial crew after last week's solo episode with our main man, Andrew.
Nah, don't put me over on this one.
So injuries. Anyone going to start us off?
Well, having injuries is always part of like the deal when at a young age and then going into your older age, you start to discover like a lot of immobile effects going around. Like you won't even know it, but you kind of
Yeah.
like this it just happens. Like you start to feel like nagging injuries or something depending on how you your daily routine is, say like with work, kind of like
Yeah.
work desk jobs or something at an old age. You're like starting to feel like your back is like starting to give up on you or something. All that stuff. Stuff like that is related to this podcast with the gym.
I mean, me and Jacob both are pretty young, so we don't know about that back thing.
Are you
You could
sure
see one of
about
my
that? I mean,
this one was from box.
for me, I got like two jobs, and I'm doing one that is like, one is like sitting at a desk, and then the other one is like freaking going around in the store.
Yeah, that's the same thing for me. I work from home, that full-time thingy, so I'm in this chair for like 8-10 hours straight, just getting up for water or anything like that. So even without injury, your back feels really like tight and like rigid at night. And when you work like second job, which is like constant standing up and walking and all, both doesn't help. I mean, it should balance it out, but it doesn't.
But depending
Well,
on how you
even
balance it out.
Yeah.
the cool thing is too, especially looking at Asian cultures, like very rarely do you see like an old man or an old woman not doing anything or immobile, because even in Japan, there's no actual Japanese word for like retired, because they believe like you work until you can no longer work anymore. And it's
Mhm.
so cool to see like how many active people there are in Asian countries. Like you'll see adult playgrounds. I don't know if you want to call them playgrounds, but exercise areas, like public areas in China, and it's a lot of old people doing things, and it's cool. And then whereas you'll
That's
see
why-
people like here, like there'll be people my dad's age, like one of his best friends even, like you would think he's an old man. My grandmother moves way better than he does, and that's because he's just never worked a day in his life. So it's like if you're not using your muscles, how how is your body really gonna function as well?
Yeah, that's the thing I don't get. Like with people that are like, I don't want to call them lazy, but they don't really want to be that active, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They don't want to move around. They don't want to like use up their body too much. But I mean, they have to know as you start to get older, you are going to discover all that lack of activity that you're putting on your body, because that's going to reflect on like whatever what's going to happen like later on. What if you
Hmm.
cannot do your job anymore, your full time job, and then you end up like in some kind of like a condition where you can like rarely work at your
Hmm.
workplace, right? And then you end up
Yeah.
at home and something, and then that's going to get worse.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, I'm just all about like moving around and like keeping myself busy, because that's how it is. Because if I'm just like sitting down doing nothing, I get so antsy about it that I need to like like move around, get out of the house, and like do something. Go to the
Yeah.
gym.
I'm the same. Especially like you guys, you both work um jobs where you sit for long hours. And I graduated with cybersecurity, and I worked like one job and I couldn't do it. It kills me sitting all day. So like another point I want to make too is especially when you're younger, you take advantage of like your health and body so much because I'm an electrician, so a lot of the people I see in my trade, they're much older than me, and I see them now like not as healthy as they would want to be, and they complain about it a lot.
Hmm.
So even things I'm thinking about even now, I'm like buying knee pads and things like this. You don't see like people my age doing because I want to take care of my health in the future right now. It's like so I'd say speaking from experience, you really take advantage of your health. You don't care as much as you should
Yeah.
because it takes a toll on you as you get older.
It's a good thing that you are at a young age right now that you are learning the ability to actually take care of yourself because
Mm.
I mean knee pads and all the equipment that you know in order to protect yourself
Yeah.
because at a young age like myself I don't really think about like um, wrist supports and all that stuff. I just don't really care about that until now when I start to feel the nagging injuries that I'm dealing with right now. I'm currently like I'm at since I started my full time job sitting down. I was dealing with a pain on my hip joints and my lower back, and then I
Hmm.
started and then for a few weeks now I've been going to a chiropractor to get a
Yeah.
little bit of adjustment now. So that helped a lot. And then also he was like giving me tips on how to do some like stretching for like 5 minutes a day. Just trying to like lower the lower the tension uh, on my body when I'm either at work or I'm at the gym or at my other job. So it's something that at a young age that they have to like look into. Now that with you got like a lot of like social media going around with all these videos about taking care of yourself and then learning the right way on what to do instead of like I mean doing whatever the heck you want to do just to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, if you are not active early in your life, and then you like start realizing that later in life, and you are doing something like really active, then the chance of injuries increases so much, right? Because you haven't been active your whole life, and now you are doing it later part of your life when you are old. Then the
Yeah.
injuries will happen more frequent, and it's hard to recover from those injuries because you are old now. When you are young and you started realizing that, like Jakub said, he still do training and all, right? Because he knows like this sitting job is not worth it. Or even if you are doing the sitting job, you still have to work out and all to
Mhm.
keep active. So later in life, you don't have to worry about those. But you did that without like any physical activity early in your life, then the later part, like other half of your life, will be little bit more difficult. Like
It's just going to hit you instantly that you're not going to realize it until later.
yeah,
And I mean, as you get older, you start to become wiser now.
That's the thing too. Um, Driving around, you see all these old people walking around, and it's like it's awesome because it's like I look at that and I'm like, that's what I want to be. So I'm trying to my best to take care of my body as much as I can now, especially in the gym. That's where a lot of injuries happen. So it's good to have that mindset now.
Yeah, when I went to the gym, like as a long like in the beginning, you used to like have these goals of like trying to reach that number of weights that you want to do, and you reach that, and then later on you start to like you couldn't even do it as much because like you're starting to discover all these nagging injuries, and then once you try, then you are just going to you're just going to push it to the limit that you are going to worsen the injury, and then you
Mhm.
just went back to square one. You just start with like light weights. That happened to me with doing squats. I pulled my back a little bit, and then I couldn't even do squats for like 2 weeks, and then I ended up not doing as much as I did before. I can barely do two plates on a squat now on my back because I can barely
Yeah,
like keep my back straight. So
yeah.
so that's why I'm like coming up with like I'm like improvising with my workouts now with like other stuff like hack squats where it's like easy on the back, easy on the shoulder. All you got to worry about is like an elevate, like an incline, just like push yourself up, go down in the squat form. Um, leg presses, anything like that. That works for everything. For squat is like more of like a, I don't know, an additional thing.
Yeah, and there's a thing too, like we're only human, we're very weak beings. It's like a lot of times when people are injured or have a partial injury, like you need to dedicate time to that recovery because a lot of times people will brush it over. Like, oh, I can still do it. That's what happened to me. That's why I have this scar on my cheek. It was like a big hole at one point because I was boxing, cut it open. I was like, well, I'll just keep boxing, whatever. It's just stupid. I wish I'd never done that. But yeah, it's the thing. People, especially in the gym, like they'll feel something kind of wrong. They'll push through it. It ends up being way worse than it could have been.
I can't say anything in that matter because I'm that guy.
I was gonna say something about you. I mean, I didn't want to bring it up because like your injury, but the thing is, that shows that you have courage and everything. I mean, depending
But
on like in your condition, you're still going to the gym no matter what your condition is because you love the gym, you love to work out, you want to keep going, right?
it's sometimes see courage, but it's a little bit dumbness too, right?
Yeah,
There's a thin line between courage and dumbness.
but
So
Well,
and
kind
depending
of
on your
different with
training.
your situation. Kind of different with your situation. Like I was talking more so like already injured type thing.
yeah, but it could have been because of the injury, right?
Yeah, yeah,
When I was young, I got hurt and I didn't like care about it. And later
yeah,
in life, it turned out to be something different, right? And then change the whole life.
yeah,
So if you get injured, you have to take care of it, look after it and all, right? Because
yeah.
if you keep pushing through, you can end up making it worse, way worse. It
Mm.
can change your life, right? So it might have been because of injury. I mean, when I was young, I had so many injuries. I have broken like few bones, have like 100 plus stitches on my body total.
Yeah.
Cause and so like few of those injuries, like I broke my bone and they still had to do the stitches as well because it was both thingy. They are like we are confused what to do right now. To do the dressing and patch up your bone or to do the stitches and they had to do both. So you do have to take care of it, right? I can fit
Yeah.
my glasses right now perfectly because I broke my nose.
Oh my
So now
God.
I have a dent in it, so my glasses fit perfectly. It doesn't slip out or anything.
Well, I have a deviated septum from boxing. Like when I sleep, I can't breathe through my nose. I
Damn.
wake up with like a sandpaper tongue.
Oh, hey, yeesh.
Yeah,
Wow.
I hate it, bro.
Damn. Yeah, it's good to like to it's good to like take care of your body and then enjoy what you can do in life, especially in a physical
Look,
activity. Do anything you
necessity. It's like a necessity, honestly. If you want to do anything in life, you have to take care of your body as well as your mentality, because your mentality plays a huge role in your body's functions, obviously.
yeah. Is there another word for like emotionally injured or mentally injured? Is that a thing
Yeah,
or yeah, there is.
yeah,
So kind of like feeling broken or some I don't know, but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I can talk about injuries, right? But I can't tell what to do because I did always the opposite thing.
Well, you could talk about the opposite thing because then you're gonna give him some tip pointers and all that.
Even when I broke my nose, I was what, 12, 13, right? So I broke my nose and I was scared of my parents and all, right? So I didn't tell them anything.
Yeah, I hate that. You get hurt as a kid, you just like
No, no.
you're worried about telling your parents about what happened.
I broke my
Yeah,
nose, it was
why did you
bleeding.
do it, idiot?
Why did you do that? You shouldn't have
Yeah,
done that.
always.
And
They
the
get mad
thing
at
is, it was my grandma's funeral that day. So we
you.
had like so many people at our house, right? And my cousins and I were playing upstairs, and I hit my nose on the like edge of a platform. So it broke it because when you are young, it's still like softer bones, right? So I broke it. I was bleeding like a lot. So I had like a little bit bigger mug than this,
Ooh.
with half filled with water and half filled with my blood, because I was keeping it here and it was all dripping here.
Oh.
And the ground floor, my family and everyone was there, right? And we were upstairs. So for an hour, I didn't tell anyone. I was in my bed with my blanket on. Then my older cousin came and he's like, "Why are you sleeping with blanket on? It's so warm outside." And he took the blanket and I was bleeding. My face was all with blood and all. And then we had to go to doctors, and doctor is like, "You broke your nose. You are still bleeding."
You're not
So I don't
breathing.
know. I don't know. First to like fix your nose, your bone, or do the stitches thing. And even
Fix
for
the
the stitches,
bone.
no, no, but with the they can't give you anesthesia here, right? They can't give
Uh,
any injection here. So she's like, you have to endure. I can't give you anesthesia or anything, and I can't put you down for just that, right? So two people will hold you, and they'll have to take the stitches without the anything.
Dang.
I can
So I'm lying
imagine.
there, and I'm looking at the stitches like with my both eyes crossed, and looking like blank. And I'm like, and my father was crying like because he can't see like, and I'm like an animal. I'm just watching there without
Yeah.
flinching.
To all the
And
listeners,
doctor
you
is
can
like,
imagine what it is, or to the viewers, sorry about that on YouTube.
it's a bloody and glory
uh,
I have a funny
story, but
story.
yeah. So that's why I can't. But yeah, if you get injured or anything, just get looked after it. Don't be a guy like me.
don't be a
Yeah.
Even
maniac.
when I injured my shoulder in gym, right? When I was lifting that 50 pound and it almost went backwards, and
Oh yeah.
Was I
I heard
there?
a crack and I felt it.
Was I
How-
there?
Yeah.
Or no, I was there that day, but I didn't see it.
No, yeah, you weren't there, but I was recording. So I know, for 30 seconds, I couldn't feel my shoulder. And I'm like, damn. And I kept going to the gym like every day, right? But in the winters, you can still feel it a little bit when you're going up. So if you get injured, take a rest, get your injury look after it, because it might affect later in life, right?
Tip of the
Right.
day: do not ego lift.
I didn't do ego lifting. It was my usual weight, but sometimes when you are not focusing or anything like that, right? See, you can drive every day. You have like you are driving for 20, 30 years, but if you make a mistake for 1 second, if you lose your like focus and everything, accident and injury can happen. But you have to make sure like to get it looked after and to take care of it after it happens.
Hmm.
Yeah. If you have injuries, get it checked immediately. I have a
Yeah,
story.
don't hold
When
it.
I was really young, I think 4 years old. You know how brothers are, they're always like wrestling, especially when you're young.
Powerbomb.
So me and my one brother were like standing at opposite ends of the hall and we just run at each other and like just push each other and send each other flying down the hall. So we kind of had like my dad built the house, so kind of sketchy in some areas, but
Ooh.
right near so this was the hall. There was a basement door here, and I guess there was a little nail sticking out right at the foot. And we did that. I went flying. My head went right into the nail. I still kind of have the scar there. Can't really see it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
horrible, just bleeding. It was my older brother who was babysitting us. So you're just sitting there with a rag over my head. My parents get home like hours later. We were just all sitting on the couch. I have like rags over my head, just blood everywhere. I didn't go to the
Playing it
hospital or
cool.
nothing.
Playing it cool.
Yeah, I didn't go to the hospital or nothing. We just kind of kept stuff on it till it stopped bleeding and then kind of left the wound, which is not good, but
Oh my goodness.
I didn't fought with my brothers because I didn't have any, but I fought with my friends and all when I was doing karate. And I messed up with the two biggest dude in that karate coaching. They were my friends, but I was still like very thin and like I wasn't like average kid. I was below average, so too skinny and small in height and all, and they were big guys. And like WWE, they tried to give me like full like stand up, throw, and I landed on
Do they give
a
you like a press and they just throw you?
yeah,
Spirit bombed you.
two guys on. I was on my shoulder, but I was upside down, right? So they were carrying me, and I was upside down, and then they threw me. So I landed on a brick, and I broke my elbow.
Jeez. They
I
literally
didn't.
spirit bombed you, bro.
Yeah, I didn't tell anyone.
Hey,
Of course, for after a few days, my elbow was so swollen, and I couldn't move. Like it wouldn't move. So I had to go to like physio, and he's like, you have broken bone and all. So it still hurts sometimes in like winter. You can feel it if you broke your bone like too
Yeah.
badly in winters. Even after years, you can still sometimes feel it. It's
Yeah.
cracking and all.
yeah.
I can still hear like clicking in my arm when I move it a certain way because I broke clean right through here.
Yeah.
I like
So
I was doing like parkour outside, fell and right on my arm, and I heard a huge snap, and it was just me and my other friend, and he didn't believe me, even though it was just straight bent. You could see my arm straight bent in the bone. I was like, "Look," and he's trying to slap it. He's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "Are you serious?" So we were just walking for like 30 minutes, and I didn't have a phone at the time when I was young. So we were just walking. He still didn't believe me. He's like, "Fine, if your arm's broken, call your parents." So I call my parents. I walk 30 minutes back the other way. My dad comes, picks me up.
Some true friend.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, bro, never again.
Well
He
then.
calls me back the next day, like apologizing. Like, bro, he's like, I didn't believe you. I'm like,
I'm sorry,
why?
bro.
Look at it.
this first finger, I don't know if you can see it bend or no. Yeah, it is bent.
I'm
Yeah.
like double jointed, so I could just like do this or
No, no,
something.
but I broke it while playing cricket. But I had that brace and all, right? When you broke your bones, they give you a brace and all. So I had a gun like this.
What the hell?
Like, it was a brace, right? Like two thingy to keep it straight, but it was like gun.
What the
But I
hell?
had my, but I'm righty and I had my college exams that time, right? So as always, I'm like I'm the hardcore guy. I'm strong enough. So in my exam, even my professor told me like you don't have to worry about it. But I'm like, nah, I can do it. So as I was doing it, I took it and I broke this brace and I started writing and all right. So right now I have like it's deformed, little bit deformed. It's like bending a little bit, like it's on an angle, not straight. So if you have injury, don't work
Bro,
through injury, let it rest.
you're the definition of it'll buff out.
Yeah, it will low out. But see, and that's why if you see my like whenever I do my signature, people is like, is that your signature? But when I was in college and when I had all my passport and all those important document thingy, I
Mm.
had that thingy in my hand. So I
Oh, yeah.
couldn't be the signature better, right? So I just wrote like a little K or something like that. And now I have to keep the same signature
Bro,
my whole
mine
life
looks like
because my
that.
passport has it.
Mine looks like that even though I try with a perfectly normal hand.
Mine's just a scribble. Just like a.
Yeah, that's what I
Just
do.
one
Who
scribble and
cares?
they're
Just
like,
like a scribble. Nobody
Do a big
changes cursive.
I do a big cursive J and then the rest is just big
Yeah,
cursive F.
yeah,
The
just to
rest
make it look
just
fancy.
yeah.
mine, not the rest, just one alphabet, K.
It's like a heart rate monitor, just like.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
And people are like, what? Is that your whole name?
Just
Yeah,
K.
yeah, you got the big letter right there. That's my last name. That's my first
Just
name.
call me K. Agent K.
Yeah.
Man in Black.
Okay. Yeah.
There. That's my thing.
So yeah, don't
Well,
be
One of
dumb
my
and water injuries.
yeah.
well then, we can end this episode right here in a high note.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's good that you guys listened to this. At least we put it into a 180 here, coming from a solo to a three-way over here. that doesn't sound right, but
I was gonna let it slide, but
but you, the guy is not. The guy's like smiling in the camera.
yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna comment.
No comment. But all seriousness though, thanks for watching us on YouTube. Watching us on YouTube, and you guys are shut up. Thanks for watching us on YouTube, and thanks for listening to us on Spotify and all the other platforms. And
You have to do it the third time. Let's be more serious, more serious. So viewers, that was us just blooping. It was for bloopers.
Yeah.
I think we're keeping this one.
Yeah,
But
intentional.
this is a good cut right here of telling us
Yeah.
to thank us for or thank the viewers and the listeners.
Why thank us? Thank you.
Follow us on our socials. We got our Instagram and we got our link tree on our Instagram bio. We got our TikTok and our all of our YouTube episodes that are on the archives. Also Spotify, easy to listen to. Give us a like, give us a question, give us something so that we can maybe make this episode or show different and interesting. Other than that, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. I am Andrew. This is Jakub, and this is Karan. And keep in touch and stay tuned. All right.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. Ciao.
Bye.